Columbus man is arrested and charged with felonious assault after police say he had sex without telling his partner he has HIV. His victim spoke with our 10 TV's Tanisha Millette, and she joins us live from the newsroom with this story. Tanisha.
Yeah, Kristen, this is definitely a story for a mature audience. The victim contacted us because she said she wants to share her story so that she can spare others the pain that she is dealing with right now. Kevin Gross now stands charged with felonious assault, but at one time, this woman says she trusted him with her heart.
You know, this man in one day went from being a dream come true to the very next day being a nightmare.
This woman, who says she is Gross's former girlfriend, asked that we not show her face to protect her children, but says she thought they had a good relationship.
In the beginning, I protected myself, and it was him coming at me basically saying that I needed to learn to trust, and that's how I stopped protecting myself.
Soon after, she says, she became suspicious.
I actually asked him about the HIV. He denied me. Trust me, I wouldn't do that to you.
But the police report.
Columbus man is arrested and charged with felonious assault after police say he had sex without telling his partner he has HIV. His victim spoke with our 10 TV's Tanisha Millette, and she joins us live from the newsroom with this story. Tanisha.
Yeah, Kristen, this is definitely a story for a mature audience. The victim contacted us because she said she wants to share her story so that she can spare others the pain that she is dealing with right now. Kevin Gross now stands charged with felonious assault, but at one time, this woman says she trusted him with her heart.
You know, this man in one day went from being a dream come true to the very next day being a nightmare.
This woman, who says she is Gross's former girlfriend, asked that we not show her face to protect her children, but says she thought they had a good relationship.
In the beginning, I protected myself, and it was him coming at me basically saying that I needed to learn to trust, and that's how I stopped protecting myself.
Soon after, she says, she became suspicious.
I actually asked him about the HIV. He denied me. Trust me, I wouldn't do that to you.
But the police report shows after investigators questioned an infectious disease doctor, Gross was charged with felonious assault. Franklin County Prosecutor Ron O'Brien says if you're HIV positive, it's against the law to withhold that from a potential partner before having sex. He says he's prosecuted a case like this before.
What you have to do is actually show through medical records or admissions or other kind of methods that the person is infected first, and then secondly, they know they're infected.
In 2008, Peter Alaya was convicted in Delaware of felonious assault for concealing his HIV status. He's now serving a 5-year prison sentence. But Gross's alleged victim says she's not just angry at him, she's angry at herself and wants others to learn from her mistake.
Don't ever let anybody, under any circumstances, convince you not to protect yourself for any reason.
And O'Brien says this case will likely go before a grand jury before the end of this week. Live in the newsroom, Tanisha Millette, 10 TV News.
Man convicted of having sex without telling his partners he's tested HIV positive admits in court he is a sex addict. News 5's Andrew Setters was there for the sentencing. Andrew?
Well, Lisa, Andre Davis admitted he's addicted to sex. He says that, combined with losing his lifetime dream of wrestling in the WWE, helped fuel his actions. But the detective that handled this case and the prosecutor that tried it called him a predator and a manipulator. There was a lot on the line for Andre Davis when he came into court this morning. He was already convicted of assault involving 11 different women in Hamilton County. Davis's crime, not telling those women he's HIV positive. After fighting the charges against him, Davis testified during the sentencing hearing and admitted to what he'd done. He says he is a sex addict. David says it was his childhood dream to be a pro wrestler, but Davis lost that dream when a physical to join the WWE revealed he has HIV.
Sex addiction is probably the worst addiction you could ever have. Drugs and alcohol are terrible, but sex is something everybody wants. I have never did a drug in my life. I was a social drinker. Those things meant nothing to me. Sex was it.
And again, Davis was called a predator, with one victim calling him selfish and hateful. She said she would have never had sex with him if she'd known. Davis is still facing additional charges for more victims in Butler and Warren counties. Lisa?
This man is arrested and charged with felonious assault after police say he had sex without telling his partner he has HIV. His victim spoke with our 10 TV's Tanisha Millette, and she joins us live from the newsroom with this.
For Kimberly Klempner's son Josh, keeping calm can be difficult.
I keep telling myself it's not worth any kind of outburst or anything like that. His time will come.
He is Ronald Murdoch, charged with murder and felony assault after allegedly having unprotected sex with and infecting his girlfriend, Klempner, with HIV. She died earlier this year. Judge Stacy Cook set Murdoch's bond at $1.5 million. He was scheduled to be formally arraigned, though defense requested that be postponed. It is a case that Toledo-Lucas County Health Department officials say is igniting conversation.
You can pass it on to your partner or partners, and that you need to have a conversation with your partner saying that, I am positive and we need to take precautions and this is what we can do.
Health Commissioner Eric Skoczynski adds that getting tested for HIV can often be the difference in life and death.
With the drugs that we have, we are seeing people live out their lives, if you would.
A chance prosecutors say was never afforded to Kimberly Klempner.
It's not the first victim. It probably won't be the last if he's out on the streets.
A man with HIV is behind bars tonight on a $75,000 bond.
Thorsha Cartharn is charged with assault for having sex with a woman and not revealing to her that he is HIV positive. NBC4's Elise Chengary has the story and why Westerville police are asking for the public's help.
Police say Cartharn had sexual relations with a Westerville woman in February of just this year, but they say that he has had HIV since 2015 and they believe there could be more victims.
Well, it needs to get out to the public because anyone who might have had or been involved in an at-risk behavior with Mr. Cartharn needs to know so they can go get themselves tested.
Police tell us back in May, Thorsha Cartharn felt sick and his girlfriend at the time drove him to St. Anne's.
Had apparently taken him to the emergency room and became interested in some prescriptions that she had seen and researched those prescriptions and found that the prescriptions were used to treat HIV and of course became frightened.
Reports state she went and got tested and asked Cartharn if he had HIV. He said no, hung up the phone, and she did not hear back from him. She then pursued criminal charges. Cartharn was arrested on June 12th.
We went through the court orders and the legal things that we had to do to find out if he in fact had this condition. In an interview with the detective, he did admit to having the virus.
Thorsha Cartharn has been indicted on felonious assault and currently sits behind bars at the Franklin County Correctional Facility. Westerville police say to get tested as soon as possible.
Our biggest reason for getting this out to the public is public health and public safety, and we want people to know and to be aware so they can find out for themselves, like I said, if they did engage in an at-risk behavior. They get tested.
Anyone who believes they may have been involved with Cartharn since 2015 is being asked to call the Westerville Police Department. In Westerville, Elise Chengary, NBC4.
The man accused of knowingly infecting his ex-girlfriend with HIV is talking about the allegations in an exclusive jailhouse interview. Channel 2 Investigates broke this story last week, and since that report aired, more women have come forward claiming that they too were HIV infected by this man. Investigator Jace Larson reveals what the suspect said about his past relationships.
Police say while Karim Tyson Zahakani and Sarita Anderson dated, he kept his HIV a secret.
He told me he tested negative when he took the test.
But in a jailhouse interview, Karim told me he only found out months ago, not in 2008, as police say his medical records show. He says he went to the doctor years ago, but was never given his test results, even after he called repeatedly. This makes me seem like I'm the worst person in the world, and I'm not, he told me. He said he didn't have a job back then and didn't know that he could get free testing elsewhere. I told her I'm sorry, he says he told his ex-girlfriend. When I interviewed Karim, who is being held on the second floor of this jail here in downtown Houston, he told me that his ex-girlfriend is just coming forward now, months after she learned of her own diagnosis, because she's trying to stop him from being able to raise their son. Since we aired Sarita's story, 4 more women have come forward to Houston police to say they too may have been infected.
I believe, based on tips that we have, that there's more victims.
His aggravated assault with a deadly weapon charge carries 5 to 99 years in prison if convicted. In downtown, Jace Larson, KPRC Channel 2 News.
5:34 new this morning. Police say the former Charles County school aide accused of sexually abusing young boys had contact with other children. Carlos D'Angelo Bell was arrested last week and charged with assault. Police say Bell worked at 2 elementary schools and volunteered as an assistant coach for a track club. The 33-year-old is HIV positive. So far, none of the victims have tested positive for HIV, but testing is ongoing. Informational sessions about this case will be held Friday, July 28th and Wednesday, August 16th at 7 p.m.
A child tests positive for HIV.
And now a Rockford man's accused of passing it on to the victim in a series of assaults over more than a decade. Caleb Becker was there as officials announced the charges. Caleb?
That man is sitting in the Winnebago County Jail tonight on a $1 million bond, and officials worry there could be more victims out there.
I'm disgusted. It's despicable that a child has to be a victim to a predator. Please, if you have any information about this case or other cases involving this suspect, contact us.
A Rockford man is charged with sexual assault of a child. Prosecutors also say 31-year-old Stephen Grimes transmitted HIV to the child.
On May 25th of 2019, the Rockford police detectives responded to a Rockford medical office. When they responded, they met with medical staff who had reported a possible sexual assault of a child.
In all, Grimes faces 12 felony counts. The Winnebago County State's Attorney believes the assaults began back in 2005, when the victim was under the age of 13. And now, that victim is tested positive for HIV. Officials are urging anyone who may have had intimate contact with Grimes to get tested.
We first of all would implore you, if you have had intimate contact, to certainly seek your health care provider to have an examination to make sure that you are properly taking care of your health.
Getting tested for HIV is quick. With a prick of a finger, a drop of blood, and 15 minutes, you can know where you stand and what precautions you need to take.
That if someone feels they have been exposed to HIV, or even if you've just been involved with someone and you're not sure of their status, you can come in and get tested.
If you or someone you know is a victim of sexual assault, you can contact Rockford Sexual Assault Counseling Center at 815-636-9811. Or you can call 911 or contact any local law enforcement agency. They are there to help you.